I know for the people pleasing, for me, it was definitely a survival thing. It was something to keep the peace. Because
Yes.
for me, any kind of raised voices or like that would be it. So everything I can do to try to keep the peace so that I don't
Yes.
get yelled at. And
Yes.
you lose your identity, right?
Yes.
Because I used for years, up until probably maybe 10 years ago, I used to be really proud of the fact that I was a chameleon.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I would meet you and I would assess and I would try to figure out what it is you're expecting of me or what it is, how I should be in order for you to like
Fawning.
me. Holy cow, was I good at that. I was so good at that. And if I
Yeah.
couldn't figure it out, I'd just keep my mouth shut. But it
Yeah.
was, yeah, and you learn about this stuff and you hear about it and you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I
Well,
did it so much.
it's so funny to hear you say that about being a chameleon. I really relate to that because, um, for all my life, people used to say, "Oh, you're such an extrovert." And I would say, "Oh, yeah, I'm such an extrovert." But you know what? It isn't true. I'm not an extrovert. What I've
Mm-mm.
learned, and this is how I say it now, I'm a very friendly introvert.
Introvert, yes.
Because that extroverted side of me, that was the fawning aspect. I am a
Oh,
master at showing up and making sure everyone feels comfortable. And, so kind of like you being
wow.
a chameleon, nothing is all bad. Like, I think that ultimately being able to do that, to be able to,
Sure.
join with people and read the room. I mean, I think actually we're both ultimately saying the same thing. I'm using the word extrovert. You're talking about being a chameleon, but it's about finding ways to fit in. And that
Right.
is a benefit and it's powerful as long as you don't do it at your own expense.
Exactly. And that is something, when I used to get into social situations and I I've talked about this on my podcast before where I would get invited to something, right?
Hmm.
And I'm actually excited. Yeah, yeah, I'd like to go. Yeah, for sure. And I really mean it.
Yeah.
But as we would get closer, my anxiety would rise up. And it
Yeah.
was just that whole social situation for me. Because what I realized when I look back on it, I had no idea who I was. Could you imagine walking into a room and trying to be a chameleon to 50 people?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right? So it makes complete sense why it
Yeah.
overwhelmed me. So
Yeah.
I would back out at the last minute. And then people would be, offended or hurt. And my mindset is, well, nobody likes me anyway, so why do they even care that I'm not going? Right? So I was I just kind of,
Yeah.
justified everything, I guess. But
Yeah.
but now I do enjoy social situations because I know who I am and I am actually myself. And I can walk into a room and I don't have that, oh, I don't know how to be. I'm just me.
Yeah.
Um, I will say it is exhausting though for me. I do need to recuperate after I go to a social situation.
Yeah.
It pulls a lot of energy out of me,
Yeah.
and so I just make sure the next day I rest. But it's interesting when I look back on that how different and I actually as I'm sharing this story with you I'm kind of putting it together where I'm realizing that's why I backed out is because it was hard to be a chameleon to all these people. I had
Yeah.
to figure out I had to meet them, then I had to figure out who they were, then I had to adjust who I was so that it would fit in with it was just
Yeah,
exhausting.
well, it's like a major aerobics routine. I'm getting this image of you like moving through the party and changing.
Yeah. Shimmy shaking through it. It was just and now it's just so different because I'm selective. I'm very careful about the social things I go to. I want to make sure that if I make the commitment, I'm going to go forward with it.
Yeah.
I don't just go to everything, but I really enjoy it. I
Yeah.
really enjoy it, and I don't have that pressure on me anymore.